Saturday, July the 4th, we in America will be celebrating 250 years of liberty and freedom. I don't mind telling you, I am a patriot. I believe in the US of A. But I also believe that the Constitution that our forefathers drafted, put into law, called the Constitution, gave every individual in America the right of freedom and liberty, the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, and the freedom to bear arms, to carry weapons, to fight for what you believe in, if necessary. We in America take these liberties for granted. Yet we need to stop and think that a great price has been paid for those liberties. Somebody's son, father, uncle, mother, daughter paid a price on some battlefield to keep those liberties that we obtain here in America forever. Somebody had to die. Bloodshed. Now think about this for a moment. That was the blood of a Republican, a Democrat, an independent. That was the blood of a Christian, a Muslim, a Hindu, a Buddhist. That was a white man, a black man, a red man, a brown man, and a yellow man. When it comes time to defend the Constitution of the United States, we're all in it together. And when we look at this July the 4th, 250 years of liberty and freedom, we do not need to take it for granted or think one man in office is going to take it all away from us. Something that we got to protect. And we need to pass it on down to our children and our children's children. It's okay to be a patriot. It is okay to celebrate liberty and freedom. It is okay to be an American. Over the years, I have had the privilege to pastor, counsel, talk to, and work alongside veterans of many different wars. My grandfather was in World War II. Other men I've known was in Vietnam, Korea, Gulf War, just to name a few. Not counting the one we're in right now over at Iran. Those men are concerned. When they go fight and lay their lives down and people back home are not grateful, you got to understand something now. We're Americans. We do not always agree with each other. But there's some things we as Americans need to keep in mind. When our brothers, our sons, our daughters are on the fighting field, that's a time to support, not fight or try to hinder whoever is in office. We should support them with everything that we have. When you see a veteran with a hat on, maybe in the Navy or the Army or the Marines or the Air Force, or maybe it was another branch that my mind escapes me at the moment, take a moment and thank them for their service. Just a simple thank you goes a long ways. And yeah, they're going to be a Democrat and a Republican and an independent and an agnostic and an atheist and a Christian and a Buddhist in that mix. Because when it comes time to put the uniform on and fight, we take them all. When a man or woman decides to put on that uniform, take that oath of office to serve our nation, to defend it, and they are killed in the act of duty, they shed their blood. But it's their family members that have to carry the memory. When we act the way we act in America, of throwing little fits, we're not showing respect and honor to the family members who lost a son, a mother, a father who's grieving now over a daughter that lost their life in active duty, or a wife, a husband, a child going to go the rest of their life without that important one in their life. And yet in America, we're arguing and debating over silly things. A memory pool, a reflection pool. Whether a ballroom should be built at the White House to protect whatever president is in office, not just the one who's in office at the moment. We need to step back and think and pray. When I pray for our fighting men and women, I'm praying for them all to come home safe, to be reunited with their families, whether they're white, black, red, brown, yellow, whether they're Muslim, Satanist, Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, Assembly of God, faith. I'm praying for them all to come home. And then I respect those who do not and give them honor with silence. Because there's no words that you can tell somebody who's lost one of these loved ones that's going to take away the pain. So do America a favor. Quit being an idiot, running your mouth, when we should be celebrating liberty, freedom for all. You may be asking the question, Jerry, did you serve in the services? No, I did not. I chose not to enlist. I grew up in a time period I didn't have to do that. But my grandfather served. I had uncles who served. But most of all, I've pastored people who served this great nation, from the Marines to the Navy to the National Guard to the Air Force, you name it. I've pastored them. I've had many conversations. One of the questions that I've had to ask and deal with is, Jerry, what about killing in war? Is that the same as murder? It's not. You may be saying to me, but I love peace. I hate war. We should never have war. Nothing good comes of war. I agree. War is terrible. Wish we didn't have to have it. But the truth of the matter is, as long as there is a setting of the sun and the rising of the sun, and there's nations that don't agree, they're going to fight. They're going to fight. The Bible makes it clear. Until Jesus returns, sets up his kingdom on the earth, there's going to be wars, and there's going to be rumors of wars. There's going to be drought. There's going to be famine. There's going to be pestilence. There's going to be disease. There's going to be floods. There's going to be snowstorms. There's going to be hail. There's going to be hurricanes. Why? Because that's the way it's set up. It's nature. And it's going to be that way until Jesus returns. But there's also going to be seed time and harvest. There's going to be plenty. There's going to be rain that's going to fall on the just and the unjust. There's going to be times of peace. There's going to be some conflict somewhere. Why? That's just human nature. As Americans, we need to be ready at a moment's notice, when necessary, to protect our freedoms. The freedom of religion, the freedom to bear arms, and the freedom to free speech. Because all of us has known someone that's paid the price to keep those three things alive and well in America. Let's don't take it for granted. On this day, on July the 4th, celebrating 250 years, let's just agree with our neighbor for a moment. Not to fight, not to argue, find common ground, enjoy the fireworks, enjoy the flyovers, enjoy what's ever going on in D.C., enjoy what's ever going on in New York, enjoy what's going on in Florida or Arkansas or Oklahoma or wherever else you're celebrating the 4th. Why? Because we're all Americans, we're all in this, and if when it comes right down to it, we're all going to have to protect it. So let's give each other a break, back off, and just celebrate the goodness of America. I want you to keep this in mind. We're all Americans. We're all Americans. This is a time to set our differences aside and just celebrate being an American. Eat your hot dog, hamburger. Enjoy the military flyovers with the aircraft. Enjoy the fireworks. Enjoy being an American. Let's lay aside for one day, one day, all our differences and just celebrate the United States of America. For we have liberty, freedom to say, to do, to worship the way we want to worship. Give everybody a break. Lower the hatred. Lower the rhetoric. Lower the hostilities. And just enjoy being American. I'm not a soccer player, but I hope the USA wins it all.